All right. Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Racers News Network Live. We have a couple of guests tonight. Pete wasn't able to make it. He's not feeling so hot. So Kelly was nice enough to sub in tonight. So that means she's going to be late for her ice cream date.
I already ate dessert, so
Oh, okay. There you go.
someone brought me home
And-
cookies.
nice. And of course, our guest, our actual guest tonight, our real guest tonight is Carly Wolf. She ran her first, correct? IHRA race? Second. All right. First this season, second altogether. So
Yep.
we're gonna kind of dive into the sportsman side of the IHRA universe because what's cool about Carly is she's run NHRA, IHRA, the Super Street Association, and bracket racing. So we're gonna get into that in just a minute. But I have in my hot little hands my personal version of the Colbert questionnaire. I have created these questions. We're going to going to go back and forth between the ladies. And there's only 15, so it'll be seven, and we'll do seven and a half each.
Only.
Oh wow.
Only.
It's either it goes quick. Trust me,
Okay.
it's somewhat painless. But the fun behind it is obviously we've had Carly on numerous times. Kelly's been with me for a long time and is kind of making a little bit of a comeback. And pretty much everybody knows both of these young ladies. But we want to really get to know them. So we have the RNN questionnaire. And Carly, you are the first contestant tonight.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. What is the best type of pizza?
Pepperoni, but it has to be the mini pepperonis.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
That was painless.
That
Right.
was, yep, we're off
Painless.
to a good start. Kelly, what's the one?
Oh
I'm going to
no.
probably chuckle through this
Not
whole
a good
question. This
start.
is going to be great. What's the one thing you own that you should really throw out?
Oh man. Um, oh, okay, this is the first thing that springs to mind. I'll think of five others after I get off this call. My racing shoes have a hole in them, and I'm like carrying them around. And I'm like, you can't wear these anymore. And they're like Simpson racing shoes. Like it's not like I can get away with them at like anywhere else. So it's like just throw them away. But I can't. I've had them for like 10 years. I love them. And they got pink shoelaces and everything. But no, it's probably time to get rid of them. I'm not going to do anything with them.
All right, Carly, what is the scariest thing about racing?
When things go wrong, but it's not scary necessarily as it's going wrong. You have to it's scary afterwards. So then that window of not getting in your head between that time and the next pass, if that makes sense.
Oh, this is absolutely perfect. This is perfect for Cal.
Oh no.
Beer or hard liquor?
Oh, I'm glad this is a you question.
Oh man. Okay. I'm gonna make it two part. I want a beer right when I get out of the car. Like if I'm done, if dad's done, if we're all done for the day, I want a beer. Um, Actually, when Don runs Top Sportsman, I need wine because that is still a little scary to me. That's a lot of speed for as much as I know that car can take it. I still need to have wine after that. And then normally at night it's like a Tito's, but yeah, kind of. There's like progressions of the day of drag racing, and sort of like a flow chart. Like what are we doing? What's happening?
We need to save that one for Amanda too.
Oh,
Yeah,
I probably
this is
know
a you
that answer.
question.
I'm willing to bet I have a pretty good idea. All right, Carly, have you ever asked someone for their autograph?
Maybe like a celebrity, like before. Oh, Bianca Ryan from the first season of America's Got Talent. She did a performance in the mall. She was my first asked autograph. That was not a Disney character.
Cool, cool. Kelly, what do you think happens when we stop racing? When you stop racing?
Oh God.
I don't want the we in there because obviously I'm not included
Yeah,
in
when
that.
oh God, when I stop racing, I'm probably dead because you're gonna have to pull me out of the thing. No, I can't imagine not doing it. So, I mean, if I can't, it means I am physically unable to do it. Like that's basically the I got a little Dale Earnhardt in me. I mean, with that stuff.
All right, Carly, favorite racing movie?
um, Probably Rush with Chris
Okay, good
Hemsworth.
movie. Good choice, by the way.
Or Ford versus Ferrari, one or the other. Of course, I was
Good
gonna say
choice
that
as
one.
well.
I was gonna say right on track.
I and that was the first one that did come to mind, but I was like, my dad made me watch Rush 75,000 times before I ever strapped into a car to drive. So
Required viewing.
Well,
it
both
it
good
was
choices, though.
fun.
All right, Kelly, favorite smell?
These are so
Burnout
random.
rubber. No,
Okay.
burnout rubber. Oh God. Yeah, no, I'm so indecisive. Okay, you'll catch me doing this. This is weird. So when I take the valve covers off, if we're going through the valves or whatever, I'll take them off and I'll just like sniff the inside of a valve cover. Yeah. I'll do like I'll literally do that.
Call me over
It's a
next
weird.
time you do that. I want to
Yeah.
see it.
I'm hoping to never do it when you're around because it means it's at the track. Like to do that like back in the trailer on a lazy Sunday afternoon. We're maintenancing.
I just want to drive by one day on the mini bike and just turn my head and see that.
All right, Carly, least favorite smell?
Marijuana.
Oh yeah.
Fair
So bad.
enough. I don't even like that. I hate that smell.
I just have to smell it all day long.
Oh
So
jeez.
so bad.
All right, Kelly, exercise. Is it worth it or not?
Yeah, I've lost like 35 pounds in like the past year. I've been going to the gym. I've been doing a lot of weight training and it definitely helps because it's funny, like me and Amanda have this theory. It's like our dads are getting older. We need to be able to help them more. So we just started I think Maddie Gordon and her sister actually had the same theory. Like we need to like lift weights. Like cardio is great, but like you need to be stronger. And like a couple weeks ago, like my dad says, I'm like, oh yeah, take the crank out of the motor, and I literally like picked the thing up and put it on the ground. And he goes, did you just do that by yourself? I'm like, yeah. So like it made me feel good because I definitely think it's absolutely worth it. I feel so much better. It's definitely programmed in my brain now. I don't even have to think about it. I just wake up and I go.
Ditto.
Okay. This is going to be for both of you. This one question because it applies to both of you. Carly, you're going to go first, obviously. Dot 90 or all out?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say wide open.
Hmm.
But I
Kelly?
also don't
Oh,
go as far
sorry.
as Kelly.
Well, ironically, then I'm gonna say God because I've been going all out lately and it's been so fun. But my heart is in a .90 car. I do love I love the throttle stop stuff. I love the competition. I met my best friends doing it. I met Don doing it. You know, I think it's I love like the .90 stuff. But yeah, there is something to be said about like flat that car. My car is so much fun flat out. It was great. Cracked
Give
me
me
up.
her feelies.
Carly, most used app on your phone?
Probably Facebook. I try not to use my phone a whole lot. Now it's starting to become Kindle because I've been reading a lot like from the Kindle app on my phone.
Okay. Kel, you get to listen to one song. You don't have to listen to it continuously, but when you choose to listen to a song, it has to be that one song and that one song alone.
God, this is a tough. I got two. The theme to Moonlighting because I love that show, and Biggest Part of Me by Ambrosia. I think they're like my yeah. That's tough, man. Al Jarreau or Ambrosia, man. Do love my yacht rock,
There
and
you
they're both
go.
on yacht rock. I like Ambrosia. I'll go with Ambrosia because I can just watch Moonlight.
All right.
Yeah, I love that song.
Carly, what number am I thinking of?
Can I get a range?
One, two, and zero to infinity.
Wow, thanks. 150 because the Virginia 150 apparently opened or something. I don't know.
Nope. All right, last question, Miss Barbato. Describe the rest of your racing career in 5 words.
I'm just trying to think. I'm like counting how many words. Like something about driving everybody nuts all the time, every time. Driving everyone nuts every
That's
time.
6. I'll accept 6.
Thank
Okay.
you. Because when it isn't Dad, it's going to be Don. They're both martyrs. I would not be able to do this if it wasn't for those guys.
Ladies, you are now officially known. Thank you for playing.
They were so random.
Yeah, they were.
Gotta remember who you're dealing with. All right, Carly. So you got to go down to the IHRA race this past weekend and check it out for this season. Give us the lowdown.
So it's definitely different than NHRA. I mean, obviously very similar classes overlap. I feel they try to make it a much more family friendly atmosphere. I mean, you have a Ferris wheel there. So and what's cool about the Ferris wheel is they like position it like right near the starting line. So when you're at the top, you can see everything. But I think they really try to keep it. I think they're trying to pull new people into the sport. Something I noticed them doing this year that I didn't see them doing last year, which I might have just missed it, but they were putting like little descriptions of the classes, like when they were streaming, like hot rod, like 1090 index, like 2,800 pound cars, like some like basic rules. Like you kind of, if you didn't know what you were watching, there was like a little blurb about it. So I really think they're trying to pull a new crowd into the sport, which I think is very good. I saw some people there too. I talked to some people that it was their first ever drag race to go and watch, and they had 2 young ones. One was in 4th grade, and he was like on cloud 9. He went for a little ride in a Cobra jet, so he was having a blast. So I think what they're doing for the sport's pretty good, trying to pull in a new crowd.
Oh, go ahead, Cal. Jump right in.
No, you know what's funny? When I heard about the Ferris wheel thing, like I guess it was at Galata, the first race or whatever, and I was just like, what the heck is this about? And then I was watching Drive to Survive. Like we basically just like slam like 6 episodes in a couple days. And I think every racetrack in F1 has a Ferris wheel. So I don't know if that was the idea. So yeah, maybe that could be like a parallel to it. So I'm not really sure. But what I'm interested that you said is that if this is like there were new people coming, it's like
Mhm.
I would ask, and I probably know the answer to it. Well, why didn't you come to the NHRA national event? Is it the price, or was it something else? Are you new in the area? Maybe that. I mean, it could be as simple as that. But that would be my question to that family. It's like family fun is very expensive these days. I don't know how much it costs to get in, but like if you can get in and have like food and everything and have the family and you get out under like $100-$200 of food. I mean, that's a pretty good day. So like I'm curious if that is what the deal was.
Well, what was crazy was they were saying they were from somewhere in North Carolina. They were talking to me like I understood too, like where all the geography of North Carolina was. I was like, you gotta start spinning out some racetracks here for me to like kind of have an idea of where you're talking.
Yes.
But like I think they said it was like 4 hours. It was definitely a hike, and they came up and they stayed for the weekend.
Wow.
Why exactly and how they found it, I don't know, because they were kind of like all over the place with how they were talking. It was much of different conversations in one. So but I know like the one son had some like health issues, so I don't know if it was like somehow they found it and they just wound up there. I did notice that the turnout in Galat, at least I observed, I could be wrong here because we ran first round very late. The turnout in Galat was a lot larger than it was in Virginia. Like they had a lot more spectators in Galat. But it did seem like it was starting to fill up Saturday. And I mean, again, Virginia is also larger than Galat, so more people were walking around. So you look at the stands, it's always very deceiving. But I mean, I wouldn't say it pulled in an Epping NHRA crowds because you go to Epping and they sell out. Like there's nothing to really do up there. But I think for it being such a new organization, I think what they have so far is pretty impressive to start.
Yeah. I definitely think it's got potential.
Yeah.
That's the word I keep coming back to. It's definitely got potential if we keep
Their
going.
streaming is like, oh my goodness. Like how they stream that race, like the camera angles
Oh my
and everything.
gosh, I loved it.
It's like so professional. It's like watching something you would see on TV, like a NASCAR race or something, like or F1. Like it's so good.
Yeah. No, I noticed that we had it on in the garage on Saturday night because like we still had, people that we knew were still in there. And like I remember watching like the Gators the other day because Mike Hondras was there and I was keeping my eye on him and like it would shut off. It like I'm like what's happening? Like, it shut off, they stopped talking, you couldn't hear them talk. I had the live feed on. I was like I'm glad I do not pay for this. I'm
Yeah.
glad I steal his.
Well, it's
when
like
he's
we're
racing.
sportsman racers, so we don't get filmed a lot. But like I remember one time, I think it was Epping, they were like dive bombing like my car with the camera as I'm like trying to stage the car, and it's like dive bombing me, and I'm like, it's so distracting. But like they did a similar thing in Galat, but I didn't even notice. Like I did not notice they were on top of the car. Like I didn't notice it was that close of a shot. So like however their crew is angling it, like as a racer, it's so not distracting, which is so refreshing.
And
know,
usually
it
when
catches your eye.
Oh yeah. No, and when NHRA does it, usually it's the finals. Because I remember, like when Dom was in the final of Virginia a couple years ago, like they were all over it. Now he don't he probably I think I tried to tell him. I'm like, did you notice the cameras? He goes, no, that is the last thing I was thinking about. But that's the time. It's like they only go at the finals. But yeah, I was watching like you guys, and it's like even in time runs, they're like all over the cars. I'm just like, wow, this is it is. It's
race.
I'd almost pay $100 to watch.
Yeah.
I don't really pay for. I have enough streaming stuff that's not racing that I pay for, but yeah, no, it's an excellent package. It is an absolutely excellent package.
And then
NHRA
like
could
giving it
definitely
away for free, which is amazing.
exactly. No, I mean, I guess they
Exactly.
got good advertisers that they can keep, and I hope they keep it for free. I'm hoping this isn't just the tease for next year and then it goes to pricing. But I mean, at least if you're interested in doing it, it's probably worth whatever price they're asking because I don't think I remembered any kind of technical difficulties. It was clear as a bell the whole time. The sounds was clear. Everything was clear.
Yeah. Totally different crowd. I mean.
Yeah.
So did you notice a difference? Obviously, a year, what a difference a year can make. Did you notice a difference in the safety side of stuff at IHRA as compared to what they dealt with last year?
I mean, I'll tell you, when I went through tech at Galat, which was their final race, and I went through tech here, they teched, and I had the same tech inspector, and we kind of know the tech inspector. He went over that whole car with a fine tooth comb. Hood came off, deck came up, like, went over it with a fine tooth comb. Like, they weren't letting anything slide. So, I mean, I give props to them because there's some places you go and you don't fill anything out on a tech card and you got people racing in pajama pants still. So, I mean, I think they're trying to make it as safe as possible. And I mean, I've only been racing 12 years at this point, but when I was running IHRA tracks 10 years ago, like Piedmont in particular, a long time ago, and again, IHRA wasn't what it is now, obviously, because it was on that hiatus. I feel the safety was very lax. People were racing in dragsters and short sleeve shirts, and then they were running short sleeve shirts and fast door cars. People were locking up the brakes and crashing like crazy at Piedmont because there was, I guess, no standard being held when we were running it years ago. And I feel like now, if they tried to do that, that would not fly with the IHRA. I don't think they would be able to get away with that. So I see a change.
So does it make you want to go out and run more IHRA races?
My biggest challenge is work. So,
Right. Well, yeah.
I mean, it's not a very friendly schedule to somebody who works, let alone somebody who only gets 3 personal days a year. So, I mean, a lot of the races are loaded during the school year. So, this one I could do because it fell during spring break, and I can do like one in August, but NHRA's schedule is just more friendly to us. So, I mean, and then again, it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So, it's an extra day off work.
Okay. How about you, Miss Barbato?
No, I mean, me and my dad talked about this. I was like, this weekend was the weekend we kind of got 2 of the cars together and, they're ready to go testing next week. But it's like, if that race in Virginia was maybe a month from now, like maybe early May, we would absolutely done it. Even Galat, I understand, like, I understand a lot of Division 2 cars are ready. They're almost halfway done their divisional schedule at this point. But like, if you wanted to attract the people from Division 1 to drive down, maybe you don't have it in March. We're not used to being ready in March. I mean, maybe others are. I mean, when you have 3 cars and 2 people working on them, and we try to work on them as much as we can. March is pushing it. April was pushing it, but luckily this year, we only had to have one freshen up. So, and the other 2 were pretty much didn't need anything. So, yeah, it's a shame because I think we would have definitely contested it a little bit more if the schedule was like a little bit more in the summer, because I think the one in the summer that's kind of close is on top of New Media. And it's like, well, I do like New Media. It's a double, all that. And I think like the Columbus one's on top of Norwalk. So, I mean, it's like, okay, yeah, that's the part and I talked to somebody before about that. Like when this all came back, like that was like his biggest concern he was talking about. He was just like, I just hope like they kind of can work the schedules out together so you're not pulling, even like for a small example, you had Virginia, you had your race in Virginia, and then at Cecil County we had streetcar shootout. So now you're splitting the top sportsman cars because there's probably were top sportsman cars that would have gone to streetcar shootout that went to Virginia or vice versa. So there's like that issue too. Like and I understand there's only so many days in the year or months in the year that we can have races, especially up here. So, but it does kind of make you have to like get creative and and you feel bad because you're like, I really want to support that. Like I really want to, like, and I know the way to support something is not just to talk about it online. Go and show up. And I would love to. It's just this year, like it would be so nice if Virginia was a little bit later and maybe Maple Grove got a race next year and maybe Galat was later. Like, plus it's like driving that far in the beginning of the year. You're so rusty and it's just like, okay, we're going to drive 12 hours and just hope that nothing stupid happens or our brains turn right back on. We do everything exactly the way that we would do it in July, August timeframe.
Carly, how did they do get 19 classes in?
I can't believe there's 19
We
classes.
raced till like 11 o'clock at night.
Right.
Yeah, Thursday. I mean, all the days kind of blur together. I think that was the first day we did time runs. Thursday was a little rough. So I don't know how true it is, but I heard lightning did hit the timing equipment. I don't know how true that is, but I know they faced some timing issues this weekend, so we were on hold trying to set rollout and clocks and everything. So they end up scrapping our first qualifier and giving us a third to like make up for it because it's now they're resetting it. So technically there was no 3. So I don't think we did first round till like 9:30 at night. And yeah, they called us to the lanes at like 7:30, and I don't think we ran till like 9:30. So it was just kind of like go, go, go. They were just kind of trying to keep it moving because they had the downtime they were trying to make up for. They had a high car count in most of the classes. So I think it was just, I don't think they were really putting up with any real games either. I mean, I didn't watch too closely, but I didn't see any games. Now I went bracket racing on Saturday and Sunday. I saw some games played there with people not staging, and so that kind of burnt some time. But I don't think I think they wanted to keep the program moving as best as they could.
I mean, they have a great variety of classes. Obviously, they have the normal, sportsman stuff. Hot rod, quick rod, stock, super rod, top sportsman, top dragster, snowmobile, the brats, which is the small tire stuff. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Top alcohol. Congratulations to Jackie, by the way. Uh, Fuel altered, I think, is really cool because they're nitro cars.
Yeah, they scared the living daylights out of me.
They're up there with Top Fuel Motorcycle for me.
I'm like, I'll strap into a lot of things. That's not one of them.
So, and then let's see, Fuel altered, Pro Outlaw Pro Mod, Pro Stock, Pro Mod,
Yeah, I like that
Top
there's two different pro
Motocross.
mods.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
There's 2 different pro mods. I'm like, okay. We
Mountain
got
Moto.
Yeah,
Outlaw
They have a
Pro
big
and
Outlaw
Pro.
Mountain
Pro
Motor
Mod.
field too.
And then what they call, and then they say Top Sportsman is a derivative of Pro Mod, or Pro Mod's a derivative of Top Sportsman. So you got like 3 classes that are kind of the same.
Kind of tripping over each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mountain Motor Pro Stock, Nitro Harley,
They
Funny
factory super
Car, and
stock,
Top Fuel. I'm
Yeah, they have
sorry.
some factory
factory or
stuff.
something, like factory stock or something, factory
I don't
showdown.
know if they
Factory
had factory
Showdown.
stock at that one or not. I don't see it in the results.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't mean it wasn't there, but
Yeah, I thought Pro Stock got taken out and they're doing like factory showdown or factory
Yeah, I think
something.
it was like Factory Pro Stock or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is that?
I guess
right.
it's trying to be because like I
I
mean,
like
you
it.
look at a pro stock car, just like a NASCAR, and it's like I look at Erica Ender's car, and it's like, okay, you have a 24 Camaro, and I have a 24 Camaro, and that don't look anything like my 24 Camaro, and neither does the NASCAR. And but like that factory showdown car that looks like a Camaro, I'm like that looks like my Camaro.
That's what my dad was talking about. He's like, Pro Stock back in the 70s used to be like a real car. Like,
Mm-hmm.
because my
Right.
dad's best friend's brother-in-law was like building one at the time. And it was a real car. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like he was running with Bill Grumpy Jenkins at the time. So I don't know a whole lot about it. Obviously, I wasn't alive. Wasn't even a thought. But I mean, they looked like cars, and now you look at them, and it doesn't look like a car.
No. No, Chevy used to just drop Vegas off to Grump at the shop and like, yeah, he'd work on Camaros, all that stuff. Like they just get body and whites. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Okay.
exactly where they're from.
Call us when it's ready. Pretty much. Um. So while we're talking pro stock, so they're going back to the hood scoops.
Yes.
Make it look a little bit more like a car.
Yeah. The throttle bod, the Ram Air, for lack of better words, throttle body is going away, and it's going to be 2 throttle bodies on top of the engine, but obviously still fuel injected for next year. So
So you still got the fuel injection thing that's more modern than carburetors. So You still got that part. It's going to be a little different because I guess it's going to be easier to tune it. But I don't know. Yeah, there's something about hood scoops. I know that they're trying to make them look like cars, but like I kind of going back to what I just said. Those Camaros don't look like a street Camaro, so you might as well just put a hood scoop on them.
Yeah.
Right. What do you like better, with or without hood scoops, Carly?
With. I like hood scoops.
With?
That's why I have a giant hood.
You got like the big bubble hood.
Yeah. I used to have that big cowl on it. The first car I ever drove had a cowl and then it had like a mailbox hood scoop as well. That was the first race car I ever drove, other than my street car. I like hood scoops.
I used to have the hood scoop off Pete's car before he went back to a cowl
Yeah,
hanging on the wall. You remember that?
I remember that. I think
Hanging
I
on
had
the
to carry it
wall of
back
my
from a
bedroom.
banquet.
Yep.
I just don't like flat hoods like 90% of the time. Like my Camaro is a Z28, and when my neighbor hit me, I'm like, all right, buy me an SS hood. I'm like, I don't want a little flat hood. I want an SS hood or a cowl hood.
Now, I know you were involved in that accident at New England last year. Did you get everything sorted out, and was it as bad as you thought it was going to be?
There's a little stuff to the car, but it's obviously raceable. um, my dad does auto body. You wouldn't know because my car's a little beat up, obviously, but we don't have a place to work on it, so that makes it a little tricky. But when we are ready to like tear the whole car down, that'll figure it out and has a handle on it. We have a friend with a shop down by US 13, and he said that we can bring the car down there and work on it. But yeah, I mean, I think it got a little more consistent, so maybe we should have had this happen 5 years ago. But
So, and then obviously you had some surgery. How did everything go?
that was fun. So I already had like a herniated disc before. And I mean everybody knows I pushed my body. I've been working out for 6 years, lifting weights for 4, 5 years, something like that, 3, 4, 5 years. And I just never know like kind of like when to stop. So then after I got hit, it just kind of made the herniation worse. It's like it was tapping my sciatic nerve before, and then it just went full blown and moved my sciatic nerve. Um, Problem is, I had to wait a full year for an MRI, so I had to go like 3 months after all that happened for the MRI, and I actually got to Galat for the IHRA race. And I had the MRI right before I left, and they called me and told me I need to come in like right now. And I was like, that's great. I'm in North Carolina. And I was like, I'll be in on Monday. So I went in, and that's when they're like, we'll try another injection, but we don't think it's going to do anything. And then they flagged it for surgery. So I had surgery pretty quickly after that. But I was to the point I couldn't walk. Like I couldn't stand. Climbing in and out of the race car was very challenging. Everybody made fun of me. They said I looked like a semicolon. So it was a great time.
I can laugh at that because having been down that road, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just I have to be very careful going forward because when they looked at the MRI, they were on the fence with doing a fusion or the discectomy that they did. And they're like, well, you're under 30, so we really don't want to put a fusion in your spine. So he's like, we'll try the discectomy and see if that works. And then so far, so good. I have some soreness. This weekend really pushed it. Driving to Virginia and then to US 13 because I'm dumb. Yeah. Mine isn't that bad. I don't have screws in my back. But
Yeah, I was gonna say, at least you don't look like that.
I don't have screws. I would freak out.
Yeah.
Does that set
That's
it off at
actually
the airport when you go through the detector?
no, luckily it doesn't. I tell them, I got hardware here, I got hardware in my left knee. That's actually one of two. There's one that one, and then there's another one right there.
Mm.
So
Surgery stuff scares me. I was terrified to go through and have this one, but at the same time, I was like, it'll take the pain away, hopefully.
yeah. So try. I literally can say I feel your pain.
Yeah. I was on Reddit before. I was so scared. I was like, what if this doesn't fix it? Like, I was reading everybody's post on Reddit who ever had this surgery. It was so bad.
But you're feeling much better now.
Yeah, a lot better. A little sore again after pushing it, you know. And then I went to the gym yesterday when I got home because why wouldn't I?
You just couldn't back off. You couldn't give it
No,
up, could you?
no. Did I do anything crazy? No, but I just don't know when to stop.
So what's your schedule looking like for the rest of the year?
Me or Kelly?
Tentatively.
Nobody
You
cares about me. Go, Carly.
Um, so if it's not on the schedule, I'll find some place to go, basically, is what always happens. I know we're gonna pull my engine, put a new oil pan on it, and then hopefully make streetcar shootout at Cecil so I can leave off the foot because why not? Why not? I'll do Rob's races. I know I'll miss the first one because I have a wedding to go to. And then I'll do the NHRA races, try to hit IHRA out at Dragway 42. And then I'll just fill in wherever I can with some bracket racing because I can't sit still. So
so cool. We'll get to see you up here again.
yeah, I won't be at the national though because so I'm the only teacher per grade level, and we take a trip to like Starbase for like 5 times a year as like their like sciencey field trips. And when I picked the dates, I am like, oh well, normally Epping isn't this week, and now Epping National is like 1 week earlier, so it's scheduled on top of the field trip. So no Epping National for me, no Charlotte for me either because I burned a lot of sick days this year with my spine surgery, and I need to save my 2 personal days for Cecil. So
I'll be honest, I'd go to Starbase over going to None as well.
it is pretty cool. It is pretty cool. Although those robots, they had them play with robots last time. That was a little pushing it for me. And then they were doing like a lot of stuff with like metric and everything. I'm like, all right, you lost me. I need a conversion chart. But it is pretty fun.
Cool.
They learned
How
about
about you,
viscosity
Kelly?
last time.
So plan is right now we're gonna go test the so we have the 3 cars and we kind of lump them together in different groups. So we're gonna test the 4th gens this weekend. I'm gonna run the right car. Dad's gonna run his car at Cecil. Then the next weekend, we're going to put my car together because there's no motor in it. If anybody saw my story yesterday, I was very proud of it. I had the car with everything apart in the garage, and it's playing all by myself in the background. I think I'm really, really punch drunk tired, and that's why it was so amusing to me that I was playing that. Like I'm literally showing everybody, I'm like, isn't this so funny? And they're looking at me like there's something seriously wrong with you. So, um, so yeah, so Cecil this weekend, working on that the next weekend. Streetcar Shootout, I'm going to take the 68 to Streetcar Shootout, the pro session. They have like a really cool test and tune all day Friday. I'm going to try to do all different kinds of stuff super street, super gas, flat out, just as much as I can get done. Maybe test a carburetor for Michael Hondras. Hi, Mike. I know you're watching because you just told me you were. And Leanne just said she was watching too. But no, I may be some guinea pigging for some people. But yeah, that's the plan for that. And then maybe we'll see if I can run the top sportsman class, see if I can run 549 and if there's not 32 cars. And Dad's gonna run 10-0 index. So yeah, so I'm excited. It's his birthday weekend, so his birthday is Friday. So I told him, I said, "Oh, good. On your birthday, you just get to follow me around all day and just look at the car and do whatever you need to do. Check spark plugs, all that fun stuff." So yeah, no. So that's the plan for that. And then couple weeks, Don and I have some stuff we got to take care of. And then probably Cecil. Not sure about Maple Grove. For my dad. I'm not going to run it, but I don't know if my dad, we're going to see if something needs a test session, probably go run Super Gas or Super Street with that. And then go to Cecil. I'm really excited for that. I get to run two cars in both races because of Grandparents' Day. My dad gets to go to Grandparents' Day, and I get to race two cars all weekend, and then go from there. I mean, unfortunately, we were not invited to MIR, and Don's car's not done yet, so don't think I'm going to MIR. Not going to Epping, and think gonna try to gonna go to the MIR double. We really want to do that. We haven't been to MIR since like the early 90s. My dad won the Pro Tree Nationals in 1991. So I think that may have been one of the last times we were there, maybe, pretty darn close. But yeah, no, so we were really excited to go back to MIR. I think he had been there a bunch when he was working on the Pro Stock cars. But for racing wise, yeah, we haven't been there in a long time. I've never raced it, so I'm really excited.
I
And
love it.
then, huh?
I love it there.
Yeah, no, I know. I really want to run it. And then, in the middle of all this, I mean, the streetcar shootout stuff we really loved. And even if I can't get in, I'm really enjoying trying to make Dad's car go 10 like our car go 10 with him driving it. He's killing the tree. It's me just trying to find a 10 for him. Like he was like 005, 005, 001 or 001, 001. He was like, I'm like, okay, I don't like when you do this when there's no delay box that can save us. I said, you can back off a little tiny bit. Like you're on edge and you're like giving me agita. I don't know. But we really, really like it. We really like the streetcar shootout stuff. It's one day. Well, it's you take a half day of work, well, except if you're testing. And you go on Friday, you race on Saturday, and you're home either Saturday night or Sunday morning. So, hopefully the ultimate goal is that Don's running Top Sportsman, Dad's running 10-0, and I'm just bouncing back and forth between the two because I am only a good spectator when it has to do with the two of them. Other than that, I don't really want to spectate or do anything. But I'm really enjoying the index stuff. I'm really enjoying the Top Sportsman stuff. It's so different. It's that whole like analytical crew chief engineer mind of me that just loves playing with it. Like I'm willing to get out of the seat to play with it.
Now, have you even, I know you said there's no way in hell you'll ever drive the vet on the track.
Yeah.
But have you at least looked at it and go, I could drive that around the pits?
No, I sat in it. So he's got two hood scoops. There's a super gas hood scoop and the top hood scoop. So he had the top one on there once. He was mocking something up, and I was sitting in the car, and I go, I know I can't see. Are you sure you can see? He goes, yes, I can see. And I'm like, well, I know you're taller than me, but I'm like, I'm looking. I just feel like I'm like stuck in this like cave, like I'm like down a well, like and like help me. Like it's so big, but yet it's kind of narrow. Like he fits it. It's like perfectly made for him. It's crazy, but it's super comfortable. I would say that. I'd probably take a nap in it. I know he has, but yeah, we were in the lanes once, and I said, "Do you want to get out?" Like I'm radioing him. I'm like, "Do you want to get out?" And he goes, "No, I'm good." And I was like, "Okay." So I'm pretty sure he was napping for half of it, but. No, I don't even think I could drive. I'll push it with the golf cart, but no, I'm not driving it. I can't. I don't like I sat in it a couple of times and it's got 16 volt and the starter scares me. I thought like the starter was messed up and I'm like, "What is that noise?" And he goes, "It's 16 volt." I was like, "Oh, okay." I start it. I'm fine, but the beginning it's a very cars don't usually intimidate me. That one intimidates me. So I'm like, you can do that. We'll do whatever you want. We will do, but I don't want any parts of driving it. And it's funny. I think Taylor Nobile and I had that same conversation. She's like, I said, do you ever get people like asking like if you're gonna run Vincent's car? She goes, yeah. And I said, do you want anything to do with it? She goes, no. I said, me too. I'm the same way. Like, but leave the fast cars to the guys. I'm good. Like, we're good with our super street cars.
She's told me numerous times, I like my truck. I'm going to stay in my truck. My truck is where it's at
Yep.
for me. For me.
Yeah. No, I agree. I know some people think that like this like dot 90 can be a stepping stone to other classes. If I run dot 90 the rest of my life, if I have a schedule like this, I'm good. Like you know, I will absolutely support whatever class. If we win the lottery, we'll go pro stock racing or mountain motor pro stock racing. But you know, this is where our budget is right now, and it's top sportsman, and that's what he wants to do. And I'm like, I'm all about it. I'm all about it as a crew chief, not as a driver.
Very cool. Now, have either of you at least thought maybe about hopping in the car the weekend of the new national event in Maryland and going down and just checking it out?
There was thoughts of a particular Michael Hondras that was going to try to run top sportsman, and I was going to go down and help him, but I think he bailed. So I'm mad at him now. So no, honestly, you know, it'll be a couple weeks. At that point, we're going to be due for like a maintenance weekend probably. So, I mean, I really don't see me doing it, but I mean, I think it's going to probably be more of a maintenance weekend.
Yeah, probably the same thing. Or I'll probably be racing somewhere
Yeah,
because you know I can't
Somewhere
sit
else.
still.
exactly.
If I can hit 3 racetracks in one weekend, that's the new goal. Did 2. Gotta find 3.
That's what they used to do in the 70s. With
Yeah.
That's what
Just
my dad
leave,
used to
drive
do.
through the middle of the night. We've done it. We
Yeah.
left at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Well, back in the day, and like if you had like me and Amanda we were actually I was watching an interview with Amanda yesterday, and Ig was talking about I think it was like Maple Grove Saturday morning, see Acco Saturday night, and Strato Rods on Sunday. And we were talking about that. I said, could you imagine, like, because we have very similar setups. And I'm like, could you imagine our 3 ring circuses going to 2 different racetracks or like 2 different travel, like pack up like 3 times and like go in 2 different days, go to 3 different racetracks? We were both like, yeah, no, like it takes us
We
2 or
used
3
to do
hours.
it. When I first started, we would run ACO Tuesday night, ACO Friday night, either ACO or Island Point Saturday, then go to E-Town Sunday. And like we'd bring like 2 cars. We'd bring my red Mustang and my Camaro, and I'd run back and forth. One person be driving the one car to the lanes. I'd be so dehydrated. I'm like, I
Oh
don't know
my
what class I'm racing, but it doesn't matter if the car is in the lanes. I'm good.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just
Oh
rack
my
racing anyway. It doesn't matter.
God. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I do miss those days sometimes. It was just drive the car to the track.
It
Hope
was
it
so
didn't rain because I
funny.
had street slicks.
Well, it was like that was the thing. Like it was a streetcar, and like one person said to us, and they had a stacker trailer, 2 race cars. They had the whole 9 yards. They had more money in that rig than is probably in my entire operation in our house. And they were like, "You guys have it so easy. You just drive in and you just race." And I'm like, I'm racing a computer car, drive by wire, off the foot. That if you blink, it's like going through the beams. Like I was like, I do anything to have like a stacker, 2 fast race cars. It's like careful what you wish for. I did have AC though. I guess that's one thing I had up on them that they did,
Yeah,
and I
there
could
you
turn
go.
the AC on even though I wasn't supposed to in race.
Now, you both know that the Harrington race at New Media got canceled, correct?
Yeah, mom sent it to me.
Yeah. So I just saw this. The Harrington race rescheduled for the first weekend in May has been canceled, May 2nd and 3rd. Instead, they're going to run a double summit points race that weekend.
Hope if you're running points, you were prepared for that.
Yeah.
Hope you didn't have any plans.
Yeah, because that's what, 3 weeks away,
Yeah. Yeah.
essentially.
It was a big buy-in. I mean, obviously, I think it was like 20 grand. So it's gonna be a pretty lofty buy-in. But I think, like they said in the post, I think it's just really hard right now because I mean the price of gas has gone up fairly quick. It's starting to come back down though. But the price of gas,
Out of my own curiosity, Carly, what is it around your house?
about $4.
Well,
Yeah, I paid like 397 or something. It was like $65 to fill the Camaro. I was like, it's like that's how
And
much
that
it
was
used
the
to
thing.
be.
We used to be cheaper than Pennsylvania, and
Yeah.
now we keep getting gas taxes, like
Hmm.
more gas taxes. So it just keeps going up. Like we just got another gas tax raise in January.
Jeez.
So
Yeah.
it's like it's this pretty much the same price to fill up in Pennsylvania as it is to fill up here. There's no incentive to running on
No.
fumes to get home anymore.
No.
That's what we would do. We
Yeah,
would
'cause
push it over the bridge if we had to.
I know up here we're hovering right about $4. One day it'll be just under, next day it'll be just over. So I was just curious, and I actually paid attention to the diesel price the other day, excuse me, when I was out riding around at work, and it was like 5.69 for diesel.
It was almost $7 when we went to Charlotte the first time. Back in 22, 23, whatever that was. It was like, or 21. It was almost $7. It cost me $1,000 just to do diesel fuel for the RV.
Wow.
I was dying on the I was hurting. Because that was right before summer break. I was like
jumping all over the place.
just
What are
swipe
you
the
doing
card.
to
I don't
me?
want to see it. So, but now I
Oh,
can't
cool.
put diesel. My RV's down, so
I'll get it fixed. Told me money.
I got a lot of things. My dragster's
How
in the
about
race
now?
in the chassis shop, so
We
there's
haven't
something
talked about
everywhere.
this part in a while. How about your dragster
It's in the chassis shop.
in the
So,
chassis shop? Okay.
well, Dad and I were pretty adamant that we were going to put it together, and we're like, we're going to make this work. Because again, we thought we were buying a roller, so we got to Florida and we carried the car into the trailer. In my opinion, the definition of a roller would be the bare minimum of it would be rolling the car. It was incapable of rolling when we got there.
On
But
rollers.
yeah, I was like, this is not a roller. But we thought we were just dumb because we're trying to put this together and none of the pieces are fitting. So we're like, are we just dumb? And we got to the point where we took it to Quay's shop and he's like, this is for a junior dragster. This is for a Vega. So I'm like, okay. So we weren't just dumb. We just bought a car that was mismatched with a bunch of stuff. The saving grace on it though is it is a very low run car, and they were running top dragster going a whopping 530s in the 8th mile. So I know I got a good chassis. That's my saving grace.
Sorry, I'm just looking at comments.
Hopefully it'll be out at some point this year just for me to make some runs in it. But
Cool. Well, all right, Carly. As always, thank you for coming on. Glad you had
thanks.
a good time. It was nice to learn a little bit more about IHRA. I am working on getting an IHRA official to come on and chat with us. So somebody local to you guys. So
I might have one. I can shoot you his name in a message. He might be willing to do it.
sounds like a plan.
Well, thanks for having me.
As always, anytime.
Have a
So
good night.
you too. Oh, your YouTube page before you go. Why don't you tell people about your YouTube page?
Yeah, Dad always tells me to tell people, and I get so embarrassed about it. So, trying to come back on YouTube with our little race recaps. So, it's at Carly Wolf Racing. I try not to embarrass myself. So, be gentle to me in the comments. But if you decide to watch it. But yeah, we just recap the races. So, try to spread the sport, try to find new people to come in, at least know what we're talking about, because Speed Channel doesn't really exist anymore, which is what I watched growing up. So, trying to be Speed Channel on everybody's cell phones.
Cool.
So,
Cool. All right. Well, listen, have a great night. Fill
thank
those
you.
young minds with lots of racing knowledge.
I'm trying. I'm trying to get them to remember to put their name on their paper at the same time, though. So, we're fighting.
I still forget to write things down.
Yeah, I mean, why should they put their name on their paper in April? But
Minor detail.
yeah, pick and choose your battles.
Yep.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Carly. Have a great night.
You too.
Bye, Carly. See you soon.
Bye.
All right, Kel. We didn't get to talk the last time, so how's things been?
Things have been good. Just working on the cars. Like I said, like only one of them needed to freshen up this year. So just putting that back together. But there's good and bad with having three race cars. So one of the good things is that if one is working and one's not, you just go drive the one that's racing, that's available. And the cool thing is that we really got a handle on the red car now. The last two races were a semi and a final with dad driving. So I'm hoping it was more the car than him, although he was killing the tree. Hopefully, if I can kill the tree, maybe I can have the same success as him. But it's nice when you have two cars. We each have, because we share the red car, we each have two cars that we can really depend on. And it's not like oh, I have to run that one this weekend, or oh, my car's not ready. I got to I got to run this one. It's like, you never mind. Like the red car is like obviously the slowest one because it's really heavy, but it's so much fun to drive. It's so like pretty, like not to like brag. It's like we made the inside. It doesn't look like I mean, there's gauges and things, but like it has like a full interior basically. Like we put all the carpeting back in, which is why it's 3,500 pounds. But in the end, I told my dad, I said, especially with him being an engine builder, it's like we can build horsepower, but to look in that car and just sort of like see that like it just looks so pretty. It looks like I mean, it just looks slightly different than when I used to drive it to school. So in high school. So it's a nice, I love driving that car. Dad loves driving it. And then we have our other ones and obviously we love them too. And it's fun to double up. And then it's fun to help the other one run. And, with the 10-0 stuff, I mean, we got everything together. We got all the rules figured out. So I think we have a good plan for that. And we want to try to run as much of that this year, try to see it, how we can do in points, try to get qualified. That's the biggest thing right now. Our first goal is to actually qualify for one because it's really fun. It's a really fun race. But yeah, and the others, just kind of we just want to do different things this year. We want to try to go to different races. We want to travel. I mean, this was a bad year to pick that when diesel went up, but we kind of are just planning. It's like let's do some different stuff. Let's try to get to some of these national events that we've never tried, especially with Maple Grove not being on our schedule anymore. So, maybe, Rockingham. We definitely want to do the Rockingham double. So, don't know if we're going to try Rockingham twice, but we'll try to go at least once for that double at the end of the year. I went to Rockingham 2 years ago with Don. It was like his first top sportsman race, and we had so much fun. I mean, we didn't even turn a wind light on, and we just laughed and had a blast. It was so much fun. The track was great. They treat the top sportsman guys really good. I'm learning that now. I'm like, oh, dot 90, like I'm literally like in the lanes, we're testing, and they like bring us up and they're like, are you ready? And Don's like strapped in. He goes, yeah. And they go, okay. And I'm on the radio. I'm like, all right, let's go. So I bring him into the water. And when I got there, like Amanda and Iggy were like in the lanes. And then I came back after Don's run and they're still in the lanes. And I just go, oh, you guys are still here? I said, we've been back and forth. I'm like, I felt so bad. I'm like, I guess the top sports guys get a little bit more, they get the better parking spots. I guess they get to get pulled down to test a little bit sooner than the others. But, it was still like, it was just a lot of fun. Like, and it was cool. Like Amanda was there. So like I'd had a friend there that I could, and she had been there so she could, answer any questions that we had. But, I definitely want to do, and last year when I came home from it, I told my dad, I said, we got to do Rockingham next year. He goes, yeah, no problem. Let's do it. And then Cecil went on top of it. And it's
Right.
tough to go 12 hours when you could go, 45 minutes down the road. So maybe this year is going to happen.
Cool. Now, what I thought was cool is that did you ever think you'd end up having, not that there's anything wrong with the streetcar shootout, excuse me, but did you ever think that would be the class that you'd really be like, wow, I'm glad I tried that.
I had a feeling I would like it. I mean, before like, 10 years ago when I had my show, like we talked about this car and it was going to be an 1150 car. But, we also decided like it probably needs to be a super street car because it's like a lot of the time, like you just have enough time to race dot 90 stuff. And then it's like those other weekends, you're trying to like maintenance and keep things, on top of things. But when you go to one of them and we were like, okay, well, we'll see if this thing can go 10-0. Like we can, I mean, obviously we knew it could go 10-0. I've been 996 in it before. So it was just one of them. It was an open weekend. I think dad knew I was kind of a little down on myself with stuff. And he goes, come on, let's go do this. And like I told Don, I'm like, hey, I know it's a holiday weekend, but I'm gonna go racing. And he's the best. He never would ever, not that a human's to say no to another person, but he's just supportive about it. He's just like, go have fun. And I told him, I'm like, I'll scope it out for you for when you're ready. Um, but yeah, I didn't realize I was gonna have so much fun. And I can say that as a fact of like I didn't qualify. I got in as an alternate and couldn't run the number, and dad didn't qualify, and yet I had a blast. So it was just something, it was a change of pace. So, I think they're going to probably like replace other races in our schedule because we really enjoyed it. And it's a place that, it's a different kind of vibe. It's definitely a different kind of vibe, but it's a cool vibe. I really do enjoy it. And yeah, I think you're right. I think I am a little bit surprised how much I was in. I'm like it wasn't just like, oh, it's an open weekend, let's go. It was like, okay, we're gonna go to this. Like this is the plan, not like, oh, well, let's just see how it goes. It's like we're gonna have them on our schedules, and we're gonna go to as many as of them as possible.
Cool. Very cool. Now you're gonna go down and run that sports national at
Oh
Cecil?
yeah. Now that's Memorial Day weekend. We're really bummed that we're not going to Maple Grove. That was the past 20 Memorial Day weekends of my life, probably 30 Memorial Day weekends of my life. We're going to that race. And it's sad that it's gone because it was such like I just looked forward to that race. And these days I not to kind of be down with it, just you can't really, there's races now, they change and they go away so quickly. Like you can't really, you have to kind of just be able to roll with it because there was a time like ACO used to always be the first weekend of August, and I loved it. I loved the first week of August. I just loved it. I knew I was going to ACO and I was going to have fun. And then ACO closed. And so I got bummed about that. And then it came to like, okay, Maple Grove got bought by IHRA. We're not going to have the divisional Memorial Day weekend. And it's like, wow, like that's another race I really looked forward to. That was like, I always was at the racetrack Memorial Day weekend. So luckily, NHRA and Halsey came up with this double sports nationals divisional. And I mean, I told my dad, I was like, we're going, right? I mean, he actually one of Halsey's crew guys is Gil Davis's son, who my dad works with. Um, so they kind of we kind of thought maybe something was going like because all I did was see the picture and I sent it to my dad and I'm like, what is this? Like you should have like me and Amanda were giving him crap. We were like, you should have the inside track on all this. Why don't you know? Why don't you know what's going on? Please tell us. So finally it comes out and I go, all right, Memorial Day weekend has been saved. We're going racing. It's sorry you have to drive a little further for Grandparents' Day, but we're at least getting to go racing and two races at that. That's the best part.
Oh, now as a competitor, first give me your viewpoint on the national event at Maple Grove going away. If you want to. Obviously, if
No,
you don't want to, you don't have to.
I, I'm I'm devastated. I'll say it. I'm devastated. I mean, that's the race that I always went to as a kid. That's probably the first race. I mean, my dad started racing his car in 1990, so we probably were at like the 91 Keystones, probably. I don't know if we went in 90, I'm not sure. But I mean, we went to almost everyone like until like when we were enhanced that one time, like I think we missed one. I think we tried to run super comp and it was just a whole thing. But, you know, it's one of them races. It's like it's a national event. It's 45 minutes from my parents' house. We family comes, we always had family that was always there. And it was close. My mom came. My mom never comes to the racetrack. She always came to that. So I'm really bummed because like she's not like we gotta find another race for her to come to. But yeah, no, it's yeah, I mean that was my childhood. I went to that race there in Englishtown. Like that was a big deal. Like talking about like autographs earlier, like getting like Ron Capps signed my car. Like the red car is signed by Ron Capps, at the Keystones. And that's the thing, we call it the Keystones, still call it that. But no, I'm absolutely devastated. I really, it was just nice. I mean, that was my home track. I ran juniors there. I learned how to drive my car. I drove every car there, first pretty much, except for the red car. But I won there. I won trophy eliminator there. Won juniors there. Like that's my home track. So like it was always cool when others came to that race. And now that it's not that, at least right now who knows what IHRA will do with it. But for right now, that's the best word I can say. I'm devastated. I don't know what I'm gonna do in September, like mid-September. It's like, guess I'll go to Rockingham, maybe. But
Right.
yeah, but it's sad. I mean, even in the COVID year, we were like, oh my God, like, what are we doing? We should be at the Keystones.
Um, Now the other thing I've read and heard and seen all over is that their IHRA's goal is to make the Dutch great again. What's your thoughts? As
Um,
somebody who's been to a lot of Dutches,
Yeah, I mean
you know.
that was the my dad went for the trifecta this year when he runnered up in Super Street. He has won in Super Comp and Super Gas, so it was sad that we were that close to doing it. I mean, we were 2 thou away from getting him. We called it the trifecta. I was like, oh man, I didn't even think of that until after the fact. Not that it would have changed anything, but it was kind of crazy. But I mean, I guess all I can do is hear them out and see. It's also a streetcar shootout weekend, so who what it's sort of like, okay, you're going to have some competition. I mean, if you put top sportsmen at the Dutch and you put them at streetcar shootout and it's streetcar shootout, now it's October, you're going to have points implications. So it's in, and if let's say the 10-0 car gets going, it's going to be a little bit of a competition. And I think it's like I'll hear them out. If it's, and not, like I've always said, if it's a difference between staying home and doing nothing or going racing, I'll go racing. I'll do whatever it takes. If I want to go racing, I'll find a place to go racing. But I'll hear them out. I'll see. At first it seemed like it was a lot of stock, super stock stuff, and that's fine. Absolutely. I mean, that's sort of what the Dutch was built off of with classes and things like that. And we were kind of just hate to say it, but we were kind of filler. I mean, it wasn't very heavily contested, especially when it moved back to October. And that's the other thing. It was better for the .90 cars when it was right after the Keystones, because that was the thing. You go to the Keystones, you leave everything there, you come back, and you're on the Dutch. So you kind of like one tow, two races. You didn't have the guys trying to make the records in stock, super stock. Now you moved it back to October. You move it back to way late in October. And now it's like, okay, now you have top sportsman guys not getting down the racetrack. Super .90 cars struggling a little bit, but all the stock and super stockers are like going sevens. Like 8, 7, 8, single digit second runs. Like they're killing it. So it's a matter of who are you catering to, and it's okay. You're not gonna be able to cater to everybody. So pick your customer base and run with it, and hope that they support it.
Fair
I'm
enough.
very diplomatic on this, aren't? Because when it's just me on the car when it's just me and you in the car talking or what in the phone, I'm like, I say a
Right.
lot of
Our
different
our,
stuff.
our 5:30 in the morning conversations, but it's a whole different tune, and that's okay.
That is okay. No, it's Kelli unfiltered. God, if I that ever leaked,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
And the best part is I can't remember most of those conversations. So
That's because I
we're
talk your
we're
ear
both
off.
safe.
Your ear starts bleeding.
It kept me awake while I was at work, though.
Oh, I
So that
think I
was
told I told that story to Pete the other day. We were coming home from Virginia last year when it was like we didn't leave until 9 o'clock on Sunday night, and Honduras is going down south to Fort Mill, and we're driving north. We talked on the phone for 2 hours just to keep each other awake. Because who else is up at that point it's like midnight. And we're like, who else is up? So we're just all talking to each other to keep ourselves awake.
hey Mike, how you doing?
Oh yeah, no, it was literally like he came with like I had him on like speaker. I'm like going in to get gas. I'm paying for gas. He's just on the phone with me. He's like, I don't care. We just kind of like.
I still tell a random person every once in a while the story about your mother scaring the ever-loving crap out of me.
Oh yeah, you were one of the few times she was at the racetrack. And you went sat in the motorhome and you spun around and she's there. She's tiny, but she's quiet.
She's very stealthy.
She is stealthy. Yeah. No, she's good.
All right, Cal, I'll let you get back to your life. But
Sounds good. Thank you for the
thank you
invite. This was fun.
you're welcome. Thank you for coming on and hanging out with us.
Anytime. I'm your substitute whenever you need me.
All right. We'll talk to y'all soon. Tell Dawn I said hi.
Will do. Tell Tanya I said
All right,
hi and
everybody.
Elijah.
Carly, thank you so much for coming on. Kelly, thank you. Everybody who tuned in, listened, and listens to our delusions. We appreciate you. And have a great night, everybody. We'll talk to y'all soon.
Bye, guys.
Toodaloo.